Hey you, it's been a while. I had no idea that my brother's fiancé was you. My servant from middle school. I was really surprised.
Hey, Carrie, it's been a while. I was surprised too. I had no idea that the person who bullied me and made me not be able to go to school was my fiancé's sister.
Hey, don't blame me for your own weakness. You were a loner and didn't fit in the club at all. As a club leader, I was trying to interact with you in a positive way.
Are you serious about that? We were on the volleyball team. All the seniors used me as a target and hit me with the balls. And you guys always left first, leaving me to clean up. And you guys even tried to lock me up in the gym. And I know you were spreading bad rumors about me that were not true.
It's your own fault that you have a bad personality.
By what logic are you saying that? Because of you, I didn't even make it to the graduation ceremony.
I was glad you weren't in the group photo for a club. If you were in the picture, you would have ruined it.
You're still the same, even in your mid-30s.
Well, I'm glad it was you who became my brother's wife.
Huh?
My brother's wife, that would make us sisters-in-law, right? I will use you as my servant for the rest of my life.
Is that what you think?
Call me your leader like you used to on the team.
I don't want to.
What?
Besides, I have no intention of becoming your servant.
Oh, wow. Have you become a big shot in the little time we've been apart? You can't disobey me. A weak-minded person like you needs to be told what to do.
What makes you a stronger person than me?
I just am.
I don't understand what you mean.
If you insist on defying me, I won't allow you to marry my brother.
You have no right to interfere with our marriage.
Hey, remember who isolated you from the rest of the school by spreading rumors about you? Who do you think it was? If I told my parents and brother, it would be easy for them to break off your engagement. I could just tell them you're playing around with other guys. Oh, or maybe I should tell them that you were a truant in middle school and hung out with the wrong people. How about that?
Please don't. Don't ruin our engagement by making up lies.
You're so desperate. You know my dad runs a company, right?
So what?
Actually, I work there. I work short hours because I want to live freely. But of course, among the employees, I'm the president's daughter, so I'm looked up to. If I were to tell these employees that my brother, who will take over this company in the future, is about to marry a useless woman like you, how do you think they will react? So much fun. I'll talk about it at work tomorrow.
Please, don't do that.
Then be my servant. Here, why don't you call me leader?
I won't do that.
Oh, really?
Please give me time until tomorrow.
All right. In the meantime, be prepared to pledge your allegiance to me. I love how hopeless you are.
I'll text you tomorrow.
Hey, my servant! Have you made up your mind? For starters, I need you to go to my office and do some work for me. Of course, I'm willing to pay you. I'll give you about $100 a month.
Hi, Carrie. How are you?
You don't get to call me by my name.
Why not?
Are you really going to act like that towards me? Who do you think I am? I'm serious. If you disobey my orders, I will not allow you to marry my brother. I will tell my parents that I don't want him to marry you, and I will break up your engagement.
Then financing for your company is not going to happen.
Huh? What do you mean?
If this engagement doesn't happen, the financial help to your father's company will be terminated.
What? I don't understand. What does the financial help for my dad's company have to do with your engagement? What's the connection?
You haven't heard from your parents. I also run a company, like your father.
Huh?
Yes, and my company has about 500 employees.
500 is a whole lot more than my dad's company.
Thankfully, the services my company provides match the public demand. Even with 500 employees, we are so understaffed.
What? How can a miserable person like you be the president of a company?
I was really depressed during school, thanks to you. To try to redeem myself, I studied hard. I haven't told this story to any of my classmates either. In case you're wondering, I graduated from South University.
South University? Isn't it that really good school with a low acceptance rate?
Yes. And since college, I've been working with people like myself who have been shut-ins, and for those who want to reintegrate into society but are too afraid to take the first step. I wanted to help them and do something for them. So I started this company. I am now working hard in the education and job placement industry.
Then that financing help means...
That means financial help from my company to your father's company.
Wait a minute. So, in exchange for letting you marry my brother, you're going to finance my dad's company?
Don't get me wrong. I am marrying your brother purely for love. However, him being a future president of the company, he asked me for advice, since his father's company was not doing so well and was having financial difficulties. He told me a lot about what company offered and other offerings. So I advised him. Your father has approached me and asked me if I would be willing to be a consultant for his company. To take on new challenges, money is inevitably needed. Then, instead of borrowing from a bank, I thought it would be less risky to lend him money from my company. Since I'm becoming his in-law anyway, if I were to participate in the management of his company, I would be partly responsible for the results if they did not come through. That is why I was planning to start financing his company when we got married. But if you, who will now be my sister-in-law, is so opposed to our marriage, I have no choice. I love your brother, but I will give up on this marriage. I am sorry for the trouble.
Wait a minute. Is my dad's company not doing well?
It's probably just a matter of time before they go bankrupt.
Are you serious? What am I supposed to do if that happens? I have only worked for my dad's company.
Your parents have told me things about you. I think it would be a good idea for you to become more independent.
What do you mean? I'm working and making money.
You've been working only short hours ever since you graduated from college. You can take a day off whenever you want. You never have to do a job you don't want to do. Despite living in your parents' house, you never gave your parents a penny of your salary. How can someone who spends money as she pleases say such a thing?
Did my dad tell you that?
Why don't you at least pay rent or something?
I don't want to.
I've heard a lot about you from the employees, too. You work only short hours, but you make people listen to you, don't you? As you can imagine, that made me laugh.
Shut up! I'm the president's daughter, so I'm allowed to do that. Everyone needs to respect me.
They are only putting up with you because they know who you are. There is nothing more annoying than an employee who doesn't do anything at work.
It's none of your business.
You're right. Our engagement's been canceled, and I will no longer be financing your father's company. Your company situation is none of my business.
Wait a minute.
What do you need?
Shouldn't marrying my brother and financing my dad's company be two separate things in the first place?
What?
I'm saying don't confuse your personal life with your work life.
How can you tell me that? You're taking advantage of your position as the daughter of the president.
We're talking about you right now. You decided to finance this company because you thought it had the potential for growth. Then, even if your engagement with my brother breaks up, keep the promises you made.
Somehow you seem to think you're saying something very right. I think you should understand the situation of the company you're working for one more time. As I said before, I think there is a chance to rebuild the business. But my future father-in-law... Oh, wait. No more engagement. So your father... Well, the bottom line is that the president thought it was impossible for them to do it on their own, which is why they asked me to do the consulting if I were to make a full commitment. And if I were to finance his company, then they would finally reach a level where maybe he can rebuild his business. Sorry to say, but no one would normally think of financing such a company. It's too risky. Even if we could rebuild the business, we cannot expect a large return. Still, I decided to finance it because it is the company that my future husband will be running. For those reasons, now that the engagement has been canceled, I have no reason to finance his company. Do you understand?
Ugh! Blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'll let you get married to my brother then.
Huh? What are you saying? I have no intention of marrying him anymore.
Why not?
Because he has an annoying sister like you? There's no way I would want to marry him.
Why not? Without financial help from you, my dad's company will go under, right?
Probably.
I can't let that happen.
But either way, sooner or later, you're going to lose your job.
What do you mean?
Yesterday, after receiving a text from you, I told your parents the whole story. Then, your father said, "I'm so sorry about our daughter. We shouldn't have spoiled her because she is a girl. She doesn't work enough, and I've been receiving numerous complaints from employees. I will fire her in the near future and kick her out of this house, so don't worry about our daughter." That's what he said.
Are you kidding me?
All true.
How dare you? I can't live alone. Who's gonna cook for me? Do my laundry? Who's gonna clean my room? What about money?
You're 35 years old. What nonsense are you talking about? Of course, you earn your own money, pay your own rent, and do your own housework.
I don't want to. I want to live freely in my parents' house. Look, I'm not complaining about you guys getting married anymore. You don't have to be my servant. So please, tell my parents not to kick me out.
I will not finance him if you keep living in your parents' house. But then your father's company would go out of business, so the end result is the same.
How can that be?
Oh, and since this is a good opportunity, I would like to ask you to take responsibility for what you did to me when we were in middle school.
What responsibility?
Because of you, I have trauma. It was emotionally difficult, not only for myself, but also for my parents. The damages for emotional distress, the cost of the psychiatrist visits. I will charge you $30,000.
That was a long time ago.
Your parents said that they would not only kick you out of their house, but also disown you.
All right, I'll pay. I pay you when you're happy, right? But I can't pay you right now. I can pay in installments, right?
No, of course. You must pay it in full.
What are you, evil?
What are you talking about? I'm giving you such kindness, even though you bullied me so much in middle school. This is what you deserve. Later, Kiri was fired from her father's company and kicked out of her parents' house. With her out of the way, I was able to get married. A few months later, we had our wedding. She tried to attend, but we politely explained to her and asked her to leave. Since then, she has found a new job and started living alone in an apartment. But this is her first time working properly, and she is struggling every day to get used to that environment. To pay consolation money to me, she went into debt. So her life is difficult every month, and she can't even go out. She often tries to cry to her parents, but her parents have not responded to any of this. Or rather, her parents are too busy reforming their company. Thanks to them, their company's business is recovering, and I will not continue to have a relationship with her in the future.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Oh, hi, Dad.
Don't hate at me. You have some explaining to do, young lady.
What do you mean? Did I do something wrong?
I just found out that you're planning on letting Jacob walk down the aisle on your wedding day. Is that true?
Oh, so that's what this is about. Yeah, it's true that he'll be walking me too. But I don't see a problem here.
Don't see the problem? Have you lost it? Why is he, who need I remind you is not your father, going to walk you down? I am your father. If anything, I should be the only one to walk you that day.
But Dad, you know how important he is to me.
So you're telling me that your mommy's boyfriend is more important to you than me? And to think all I've ever done is love you?
Okay, where is this coming from?
As your father, I refuse to let someone else walk you.
Someone else? Dad, it's Jacob. He's been with us ever since you left. Don't make him sound like a stranger or something. He's family.
I don't care what you have to say. That man is not a part of my family. I can't let him walk you down the aisle. I refuse.
Well, this isn't your decision. It's mine. And besides, it's not like I'm choosing Jacob over you. As I remember, both of you are going to walk me. You are my biological father. Divorced or not, nothing will ever change that.
Exactly. And as your biological father, the right to walk you down the aisle should belong to me and only me.
Do you hear yourself? I said you're my father. I didn't say you're my only father. Jacob might not be my blood relative, but he's been with me and Mom ever since I can remember. He showed up on my every birthday, and he'll make time out to attend every school parent-teacher meeting I ever had. Even when I left for my college interview, he was there with me. And that's just for the academic stuff. He was always there for me for other stuff too. Times when I needed you, but you didn't show up.
Dad, again! How many times have I told you? Someone had to be working to provide you and your mom. I couldn't be there because I was working.
I understand that. That's why I'm not mad or anything. I know you were trying your best. But try to understand that Jacob's been an important father figure to me. I can't just not let him be there for me at such an important occasion. Especially when he was the one to ask to walk me. How could I have said no?
What? You mean he asked to walk you? You didn't even ask him yourself.
Well, yeah. But even if he hadn't offered, I would have asked him anyway. The fact that he was so persistent just shows how much he cares for me. So please don't create a scene or anything. Don't ruin my wedding.
I'm hurt that you even think of your own man like that. Why would I create a scene?
Because that's what you always do. I don't know why you hate Jacob so much, but you usually always want to be around me and Mom when he's involved. And then it's always something about him that you say you can't stand.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. Even now, you say you were too busy to attend my wedding, your own daughter's wedding. But as soon as you found out Jacob would be coming, you suddenly had time for me too.
I told you I had a meeting that day. I had to reschedule it.
So it had nothing to do with Jacob, like, at all?
Of course not.
Okay, if you don't have a problem about him attending the wedding, then you shouldn't have a problem with him walking me down the aisle either. Especially since you'll be walking me down too.
It's not like I have a problem with him or anything. I just don't understand why he has to be there too.
Dad, I'm not going to go over this again. It's already decided, and I can't cancel on him last minute either. Is that clear? Hello? Hey, hon. Remind me again, did you want the tulips or the roses? The tulips, Mom. That's what I thought. Just wanted to confirm. Thanks again for helping me out with the arrangements and all. I really appreciate it. Well, if I didn't help my own daughter plan her wedding, then what kind of mother would I be? Speaking of, are you sure there isn't anything else you want? Any changes whatsoever? Once I sign the deal with the manager, we won't be able to make any changes in the future, you know? Yes, I'm aware, and I think we're all set. So you're certain you don't want any changes? Not at all? Like even on the guest list? Yeah, why do you keep asking me that? Do you want me to change something? I just want you to reconsider. Could you at least think it over? About inviting your father to your wedding, I mean.
Mom, we talked about this already. I can't cut off my own father like that. I'm getting married, for crying out loud. I'm sure he'll want to be there for me.
But you know how he's like. What if he doesn't show up? Or worse, make a scene?
I've already discussed it with him. He said that he won't bother anyone. I trust him, so why can't you?
It's not that I don't trust him. I'm just worried for you.
It'll be fine, Mom. Please. I just want a good wedding, that's all. One where we all come together as a family and just celebrate the big day. So could you guys put your differences aside and just be happy for me? I can't deal with any drama until I'm happily married.
You're right. It's your wedding and we should be happy for you. I promise I'll make sure you won't hear any complaints from me. Even if that means being on good terms with that lying, ungrateful little third-faced alcoholic jerk who can't make time for us. I mean, when was the last time he came to visit us or even called us?
See, you're doing it again. You're calling Dad names again.
Well, can you blame me? He deserves it. Some husband he was. He was just a sad excuse of a man, to be honest.
You're still doing it. I know you guys aren't on good terms, but please stop. Your whole Tom and Jerry circus affects me too. I hope you guys know that. Seriously, sometimes I wish that the two of you never met. Ever since you guys got divorced, all you do is fight. It was never like that before. I don't remember you guys fighting or even arguing before the time of the divorce. Whatever it was, couldn't you guys have worked it out or something? Like, what suddenly made you want to divorce Dad in the first place? Was it Jacob?
Wow, I guess you have grown up a lot, huh? This is the first time I've heard you say all that.
I don't think I said anything wrong though.
You said you wanted me to work things out with your father and that I should have divorced him. Do you blame me for how things ended up between us?
I didn't say that. I'm not blaming you. I'm just asking what suddenly drove you to take this step. Was it Jacob?
Oh God, no. Jacob and I hadn't started dating until after I got divorced. Before that, we were just colleagues.
Then why did you divorce Dad?
I can't tell you that. Look, he's your father. I can't have you see him any different than to how you already do.
Please, Mom, I need to know.
Fine, but it will hurt you. But remember that this has nothing to do with you, so please don't look at your father any differently. I didn't want to tell you this, but I guess you're old enough to know. Your father had a drinking problem. Every time he came home late, he would grab a beer or two and chug it down like no tomorrow. It was his way to deal with his office stress, I suppose. I didn't think much of it at first, but after some time, he changed. He would get angry over the littlest thing and then yell and even verbally harass me. I put up with it as much as I could. But one day when he was drunk, he actually hit me. That one slap across the face made me realize that he wasn't the man that I loved anymore. He was something else. And I was afraid that one day he might hit you too. It wasn't safe to be around him since he was quite clear that he won't quit drinking. I had to get us out of there. That's why I filed for divorce and moved in with Jacob since he was the only one who knew about all this.
Oh my God, why didn't you tell me this before? How come this is the first time I'm hearing this?
You were too young when it happened, and I know how much you care about and look up to your father. I couldn't take that away from you.
I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry about what I said about you dating Jacob and about you divorcing Dad.
It's alright, dear. You didn't know.
Also, I think you're right. We need to make changes to the guest list. I can't have someone like Dad come to my wedding. Who knows what he'll do? If he's drunk or something, what's to stop him from hitting someone else?
No, you shouldn't cut him off like that. It's like you said, you want a simple and peaceful wedding, right? A wedding with all your family members to be included and have fun.
He's not my family though. What family chooses drinks above their family and then hits them when he's wasted? Or uses work as an excuse to run away from all his responsibilities as a husband and father? That man is nothing but a stranger to me anymore.
No, he's your father.
What's wrong? I thought you wanted him off the guest list.
Yes, but that was before you told me you wanted a peaceful wedding and for the family to come closer again. The only reason I told you the truth about your father was to clear any doubt you have of me in your head. I didn't mean to do you any harm. Mom, I know you mean well. You would never intentionally hurt me. But after hearing your story, I don't think I can feel safe around Dad anymore. Please don't be hard on yourself. This isn't your fault. Just let the manager know that we want to change the guest list before you hand over the final list. I'll let Dad know about my decision too.
Hey, was there some kind of mistake?
Mistake? In what?
They're saying I can't get in. I have the invite, but they're saying I'm not on the guest list for some reason. You mind telling them to let me in? It's getting chilly out here.
Oh my god, you're seriously here? What part of I don't want you to attend my wedding do you not understand?
Huh?
There's no mistake in the guest list. You're not invited. I've told you that months ago. Now, if you excuse me, I have a groom waiting for me.
Hang on, what? You're seriously gonna leave me here in this cold weather? Surely not to your own old man, right?
My old man brought this onto himself. I told you that you're no longer invited, yet you still came. That's on you. Now seriously, I have to go. Bye! What the hell were you thinking? Mom was right. You don't care about anyone else but yourself. You ruined my wedding. Are you satisfied now? I hope you're happy now.
What are you talking about?
I'm surprised you can't even think of playing dumb right now. Are you that heartless?
Oh, come on, Crystal, don't be like that. You make it sound like I've ruined your wedding or something.
Well, that's what you did.
Oh, please, name one thing I did wrong.
Okay, how about bribing your way inside in the first place? What made you think that was a good idea? Did I tell you that you weren't welcome?
Well, yes, but then I recalled on the number of times you practically begged me to come. So I decided you're probably stressed or something and decided to take it out on me.
You're so unbelievable.
And besides, what kind of daughter would want her own father to attend a wedding?
Me? How many times do I have to tell you? You ruined everything.
How was sneaking my way into my daughter's wedding supposed to ruin it, huh?
It's what you did after that, Dad, like punching Jacob. What the hell was that for?
Well, he deserved it. He was staring at you like a creep. Plus, I saw him hold your arm. I can't allow anyone to touch you like that. Unless it's me or your husband, I guess.
Staring at me. He was just telling me that I look beautiful. He was trying to be nice, Dad, unlike you who just decided to straight up tell me that I've put on weight. Like, what the hell was that? How could you even think of saying that? And as far as touching me goes, I tripped on the carpet and he just caught me from falling. It all happened so quickly that I didn't even realize what happened myself. But I know he saved me from falling, unlike you. What were you even doing staring at your phone the whole time? You didn't even realize that I tripped? Like, how?
I was talking to a client. It was a pretty big deal and all, so I could just leave him hanging.
Seriously, even on my wedding day, all you care about is work. Do you know how embarrassing it was for me when you, of all people, were on the phone the whole time? And then, out of nowhere, you decided to punch Jacob? In what world did you think that was okay? Not only did he fall on the food table, knocking down the wedding cake, but he also broke his arm when he broke that table. He had to be taken to the hospital immediately.
Okay, so I was being overprotective of him touching you. That doesn't mean I was being rude or anything. It's not my fault he fell so hard. You should have been working out to take a hit like a man.
And was it your overprotective nature that also bribed the waiter to dunk a glass of wine on him too? I hope you realize you ruined his very expensive suit. But I'm sure that was your goal, wasn't it?
Oh, come on. Don't doubt your own dad like that.
The waiter was literally in tears, Dad. He admitted to everything he did because he was a wreck with guilt. Unlike you, who probably doesn't give a damn about anyone else but himself. Either way, I hope you never find happiness in your life. You don't deserve it.
Excuse me?
You ruined my wedding. Thanks to you, my in-laws were willing to cancel the wedding because they were concerned about my upbringing, since I have a dad like you and all. It's all to my fiancé who stood up for me during all this. And just so you know, he's a lawyer, and we are going to sue you for everything you've done. So you better be prepared and lawyer up.
Sue me for what?
Let's see. Trespassing into my wedding, bribing, assaulting, and publicly humiliating Jacob. Must I go on? And just so you know, I'm serious this time. I never want to see you again. You're not my father anymore, and I hate you. Crystal and her fiancé won the case in court. The father was charged for assault and bribery. As a result, he had to pay up a large sum of money to help with the medical bills. Jacob and Mom married soon after Jacob's recovery, and yet Crystal was left with enough for her and her husband to buy a new house for themselves. Things were looking up for the newlywed. For the father, however, since he was abandoned by his family and all, he was left alone, and due to the charges applied on him, he was in debt. Rumors spread like wildfire. Rumors about why his family abandoned him. Apparently, no one wants to work with someone without any values. So he's out of the business too, with no family, no lover, and no job. He has it very hard to make both ends meet.